First, we've got our string line set to grade using 2-foot stakes. This is our concrete grade. Now we're using 18-inch to 24-inch half-inch rebar that you pound down with a sledgehammer about an inch away from the string. Pound that down to your string and then use your rebar driver tool that has a little metal indicator, as you can see, and you tap that rebar down till the indicator is lined up with the string. When that's lined up, you set your screed chair and move on to the next one. We usually space these rebars between 36 and 48 inches apart. As you see here, we've got our string line already set, and our rebars and screed chairs are already set for the whole length of the pour. We are pouring up next to a building, and as you can see there, we're using a 2-inch metal pipe, 2-inch outside diameter is what it's designed for. Here we are screeding our gravel using a 2x4 with stakes screwed on each side. This puts us down, our gravel down 3.5 inches, and as you can see, we're using the same metal pipe we're going to screed off of to set our gravel. So if you're in this situation, we're pouring up next to a house and we're setting our gravel here, and by the time you compact this, it'll put you down to 4 inches, or if you're pouring a 6-inch slab, you'll use a 2x6 in the same manner. You can see the guys shoveling the gravel up next to that board, and we just drag the gravel. Gives you a perfect base. Here we're pouring up next to a building. You can see our row of screed chairs with our 2-inch pipe on top, and we have a mat of rebar, 3/8 rebar laid in. So using this system, if you're pouring a 4-inch slab, you still have room to pull the rebars up. Here we're using a board, so this system works with any kind of screed. We're using a board here to screed off of. We're screeding our concrete right off the top of that 2-inch metal pipe. When it gets to the end of the 2-inch metal pipe, you just slide it down to the next set of screed chairs, and then you'll see one of the shovelers will fill in that little groove that's left by the 2-inch metal pipe. And then if you have access to it, you can get there with a float and smooth it out, or the shoveler can use his shovel as he's going backwards to smooth that concrete in that groove. You can see here he's using the float to smooth it because we have access to that side. But as he gets past to where he can reach, then the shoveler will use his shovel to pat that concrete into the groove right there, and then you float right over the top of that with your bowl float. And as you can see, we'll move on from here. Here we're pouring a basement floor. You can see our row of screed chairs about 2 foot away from the basement wall. We'll put a 2-inch outside diameter metal pipe. It's 10 foot long. On top of the screed chairs, you could use a 20-footer pipe if you want. We use the 10 foot because it's easier to fill the groove when you pull the pipes down. As you can see here, we're screeding the concrete. There's a pipe on each side, and we're using a board, and we're screeding right off the top of the 2-inch pipes. You can see here he's sliding the pipe down, and we'll set it on top of the next set of screed chairs. We'll continue to screed. Pulling the pipes all the way to the end. There's a form at the end. We'll pour this basement in 2 pours. And they'll continue to screed all the way to the end. And you can, here in this situation we're using a board, but you can use any form of screed that you have. It'll just ride on top of the 2-inch pipes. Here we've pulled the pipes out and we're filling in the groove left by the pipes. And you can use a shovel to pat it down, or you can walk that edge with a derby or a bowl or a float and float it in smooth. You see here he's using a straight edge to come through and level that edge. Okay, here we're pouring a 40 by 60 shop pad all in one pour. What we've done is we have set a row of screed chairs down the middle and a row of screed chairs on each side. So we have a pipe on each side. This is poured inside the stem walls. So our stem walls are sticking up about a foot above our slab grade. So it doesn't give you access to use a form on that outside. And these work perfect in this situation. You see our row of screed chairs up next to the concrete wall, our foundation wall. And we're using a 20-foot roller screed, but you could set up, you could set up any combination you want if you screed with a board, or you could set up 2 rows of pin caps down the middle. We've set up 1 row of pin caps. We've screeded to the end, and then now we pull our pipe out of the middle and move it all the way back up to the front. The groove's still there. We didn't fill in that groove. And set our pipe back onto the same screed chairs to pour the second half of this slab. And then we move the pipe from the other side over to set on this row of screed chairs on this side, and we'll screed off the 2 pipes. This is a 6-inch slab with rebar down, or a mat of rebar in there. And remember, this screed, there's enough room using this pipe to pull that rebar up without interfering with the pipe. You see he's pushing the pipe down to sit on the screed chairs. Okay, we've poured that whole side, just finishing it off. And we're using a roller screed. You can use a truss screed, you can use a board, you can use a vibrating screed. As we pull our pipes down in the middle, we like to walk that middle section where the 2 pours have come together, and using a wood derby we smooth that so we have a good clean level transition to bowl float over.